Hey YouTube, it's me again. Today, I'm at you with a unique deck. Was not created by me. If you go to Pojo and look up the name Oleonz, O-L-E-O-N-Z, this is his deck with a few little tweaks, and I'll mention them as I go through. Pretty much the focus of this deck is to special summon onto your opponent's side of the field, and then swap that monster back to your side of the field. I'll go through the deck list real quick, just mentioning them, and then I'll go through what the deck actually does in a little bit more detail. So first off, we have Grinder Golem, run 3, 3 breakers, 2 Volcanic Queens, 2 Kycoo, 2 Ancient Gear Dragons, 2 Ryko, 1 Lava Golem. Oh man, this glare is really terrible. 1 Cyber Dragon, 1 Morphing Jar, 3 Geartown, 3 Owner Seal, 3 Creature Swap, 2 Trade-In, 1 Gold Sarc, 1 MST, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 3 Remove Brainwashing, 2 Bottomless, 2 Nightmare Archfiends, and 1 Solemn. Okay, so pretty much you will special summon to your opponent's side of the field via Grinder Golem, which allows you to special summon to their side of the field, and then you get 2 0 attack, 0 defense tokens on your side of the field. That's the normal summoning condition, but if you played the card Remove Brainwashing, which is a continuous spell, it says it returns the control to the original owners on the field of all monsters. So you'd get your Grinder Golem and your 2 tokens. Okay, and that's continuous. Likewise, Owner Seal works the same way, but you can play it from, obviously it's a spell, so you can play it from your hand, and it's not a continuous, so you just use it for the turn that you do your summoning on. Okay, and also Creature Swap, so you can swap one of those tokens and get your Grinder Golem, and then have a 0/0 token to attack if you need to make a hole in your opponent's defense. Okay, so you could do that with Grinder Golem. Now, my favorite thing to do is use Volcanic Queen to tribute one of my opponent's monsters, particularly a big one like I did earlier today with Heraclinos, and then use the same tactics to bring it back to my side. So either Owner Seal or Remove Brainwashing. Okay? Furthermore, you have Lava Golem. Some people say, oh, why don't you run more? Well, the likelihood of your opponent having 2 monsters on the field and it to come out isn't really as common as you may think. So 1 Lava Golem is perfect for the deck. Okay, and the second part of the deck revolves around Geartown. Geartown, as we all know, when it gets destroyed, brings out Ancient Gear Gadjiltron Dragon, which is a very powerful monster that can be special summoned via the destruction effect of Geartown. So that's why we run 3 breakers. Not only is it normal back row hate, but it can destroy your Geartown. That's also a good reason to run Rykos. Regular destruction, and it can destroy Geartown. The Kycoo is just good versus a lot of decks. You're going to be able to put holes in your opponent's defense really easily, so you do get his effect quite often. So removing certain Black Wings, removing X-Sabers from the graveyard can really be game-changing. Okay, furthermore, Cyber Dragon, just to be there against, machine decks, it's great to have in there. Additionally, it's a great top deck if you're looking to push your game, and then this is another part. This is the first part of our drawing power. Since we don't have a lot of inherent drawing power, we use Morphing Jar and Trade-In. We have 5 targets for Trade-In, so 2 is right. We use 3 Grinders, which is 1 target, and the other 2 is the Gadjiltron Dragons. Excuse me, there's 6, and Lava Golem is another one. So there is our draw power. The guy who made the deck used a Cat of Ill Omen, which has a flip effect. You can remove 1 trap from your deck to the top, so essentially you'll draw it next turn. So I assume he was using that to get Remove Brainwashing. I think Golden Sarcophagus is a little bit better. Doesn't waste a normal summon. You can get any card in your deck. You guys all know what Gold Sarc does. So I'm using that instead. Additionally, instead of the 2 Bottomless, he uses Solemn Warnings. 1, I don't have my Solemn Warnings right now, and 2, Volcanic Queen and Lava Golem can both burn you for a little bit of damage. So losing 2,000 isn't really ideal. Granted, I would run the warnings if I had them, but that's what's making me justify not having them right now. Even though it's a crappy justification, you know, that's the way it is. So creature swap obviously helps us get our monsters back on our side of the field as well. I think everything else is pretty straightforward. Nightmare Archfiends. Okay, let me explain this. You tribute one monster on your side of the field, and your opponent gets 3 2,000, 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense tokens. And they do come back to your side of the field via Remove Brainwashing and Owner's Seal. So that's 6,000 damage right there. All you have to do is tribute one monster to your side of the field. So you can tribute a Grinder token, maybe a Breaker that's already used its effect, stuff like that. That can be really devastating to your opponent. It's a very, 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 very fun deck. The official name, I believe, is called Golem. I like to call it mine because every time I'm playing it, I think of the seagulls from Finding Nemo. They go, mine, 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 because, you know, I give them a Grinder Golem, and they're like, oh, sweet, and then I'm like, mine, and I take it back with one of the card effects. So, it's a lot of fun. Caught a lot of people off by surprise today. I did lose to Lightsworn. The guy who was playing them had Honest in his hand for game 3. He had both of his Honest in his hand. So I walked into one. I was like, okay, what's the likelihood of him have another one? Of course, he had the other one. And I ended up losing game 3. So I went 2-1. For whatever reason, the locals I'm going to have been only doing 3 rounds of Swiss and then cutting to top 4. So I didn't actually make top 4, which was kind of a shame because I was having a really good time. After the tournament, I did some fun duels, and I won actually most of those. Lost to my friends Volcanic Quick Draw a couple times, but I got him the last game, so that's all it worked. That's all that matters. Again, it's an explosive, offensive-minded deck. Not too much, no Book of Moons, not a lot of defense in this deck. So you want to win and win quick, and you can with the deck. I don't think there's much more to say about it. Give it a try. It's very easy to make. Grinder Golem go for about 3 common breakers you can pick up for $1 or $2. $1, 2 or 3. Probably about 5 each now. They are kind of expensive. Starter deck Merrick came out with these, so I picked that up for $1. $2 or $3, maybe 3, 4. Under $1, maybe $1 each. Let me tell you one thing though. If you go to Troll and Toad, they are out of this card and Grinder Golem, so you're gonna have to find other ways to get them. I had to go to a local shop, and it took me forever to find these cards. These Remove Brainwashing. I don't know if it's a short print or what, but they were hard to find. So without further ado, this is the deck. Kind of wish I'd gotten some footage of the duels tonight because it is a fun deck to watch operate. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, just go ahead and leave me a message. Again, official name is Golem. I call it mine. Yeah.